hate when this happens. Good morning, everybody. Oh, yeah, that's your line. Go ahead, say good morning, everybody.
Good morning. My name's Hillary, and this is Sunday Morning Live with John M. And here's our host, John M.
Here's our host tuning his guitar. Good morning. It is, of course, Sunday morning. Once again, it is the first day of July. The 4th of July is coming up very soon, and I probably, if I thought about it, I probably would have done my patriotic American song, but that requires another guitar, so I'm not going to play it. Perhaps next week. I have a very special guest with me this morning, Nick Kirgo, whom I will introduce you to in just a moment, and we're going to have a bunch of fun. But I'm going to start off with this song. Nick may or may not dance about the fretboard as I do this. But this is a song I haven't played here in a while, and it's from my first album, Taste of Things to Come. And I'm just going to dive right in and play this, and then we'll carry on. This is called In Jesus' Name. I hope you like it. I love you like a brother, but I don't even know your name. We can all love one another all the same. Jesus was another, he loved us all the same. We can all love one another in Jesus' name. I've been swimming in the ocean, I've been standing in the rain. I've known lies and devotion, comfort and pain. I have lived on the sidewalk and in the fast lane, but I live as I walk in Jesus' name. In Jesus' name. Do you remember when Jesus came? Remember what they did to him, what he did for you? Oh, wouldn't he be surprised to see the things we do in Jesus' name? Oh, yeah, well, in Jesus' name. That's right. I've been standing in the rain. I've known lies and devotion, comfort and a pain. I have lived on the sidewalk and in the fast lane, but I live as I walk in Jesus' name. In Jesus' name. Do you remember when Jesus came? Remember what they did to him, what he did for you? Oh, wouldn't he be surprised to see the things we do in Jesus' name? Oh, what he did for you. Oh, wouldn't he be surprised to see the things we do in Jesus' name? Oh, yeah, now in Jesus' name. Yeah, yeah. Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. Take it away. Yes. Yes, we did it and it worked. Thank you, sir. That was great.
I'm trying to find.
But not that many people know that you produce other people as well, apart from people you have produced.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, how long have you been doing that, and how did you get started doing that?
I started doing it. I put together my studio in my house about like 12 years ago, and I started. The first record I produced was for Lauren Adams.
Yeah.
And I did another record with her a couple of years ago, actually last year that came out. And then a lot of people that are in the same scene, the you're in and I'm in. I produced for John Zipper, and I just finished a guy I co-produced named Billy Joseph, who you haven't met, who's a great singer-songwriter. And I'm just finishing mixing the fabulous Tom Kell and Paul Fong.
Oh man,
CD.
yeah.
So we're
I can't wait
close.
to hear that. Yeah.
By the way, Tom Kell is here watching.
Is he?
Say hi.
Tom Kell.
Yeah, he posted last night that he was going to make sure.
He's a wonderful guy.
He sure is.
Troubled. He's a troubled man, but he's fantastic.
He writes a lot of dark songs.
And Paul is also just like amazing. And the thing that's fun about producing is that you get to know the talent and the depth of the talent of the people you're working with that you might not even notice. Like when we were doing this latest record. And another record I really liked that nobody's heard is this wonderful singer named Jackie Young, who was a good friend of mine who I was talking to Hillary about earlier, who died of breast cancer when she was 50. But that was like the second record I produced, and that's an amazing record. More people should hear that. I need to put that up because she's a real talent.
Yeah.
And so.
Well, I recall when I was back. Oh God, I don't know how many years it would have been now. 10 years, maybe a little less. When I had my house and my studio.
Yes.
Which was a big studio.
Yeah,
and
nice.
you came in
well.
and did a kind of a guest engineer thing for me one day with Ronnie Cox, and Ronnie Cox and Ned Beatty and some people came in and recorded a bunch of stuff, and you were just right at home at my board, and they they ended up getting some great stuff out of it.
Well,
so,
that's nice. It's nice. Yeah, I mean, there's people that are like amazing. Like they spent their whole lives being engineers, and I'm not one of them. But I think I have a talent for mixing and hearing things.
Yeah.
Whether I know exactly what I'm doing, who knows?
Well,
Who
that's
knows?
I'm kind of in that same boat with you, and I honestly, I'm not just saying this because you're here, but I think really that's the most important. Being able to hear the music, I think, and feel it the way a non-technician would.
Right.
I mean, I've known lots of they don't have a kind of a meter for whether or not the lyric is affecting them or
Right.
the dynamics or
Right.
whatnot.
Right.
They hear more whether or not the bass and the kick drum are perfectly
Exactly
in sync.
right.
You know?
Exactly right. Well, that's what's funny. That's funny because I was going to mention and this happened with John Zipper and the latest record with Tom. Like I'll record them and then I have the engineer hat on, so I'm just like looking at levels. I'm just getting sounds. I'm just blah blah blah. And then after we're done, I listen to it. I go, man, that's an amazing vocal performance.
Yes.
And I'll have totally missed it while it was going down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's kind of fun when that happens. It's
Yeah.
like if I could be more in the moment and like know that it's happening while it's happening, that's cool.
Do you find? I was just talking to somebody about this yesterday. When you're in your own studio, when I had my studio, I found that I was reasonably comfortable engineering for someone else, or even sometimes producing for someone else. And I was reasonably comfortable being the artist and having someone else engineer for me.
Right.
I was not comfortable doing both. I didn't like engineering my own recordings. Are you?
Yeah, I don't do a lot of my own stuff anymore. So I don't. But yeah, it's always nice to have other ears for sure.
Well,
yeah.
and I think it's just kind of that left brain, right brain thing. You know, if I'm playing a song, I want to be able to immerse myself in the emotion of it and playing and
Yes.
the energy and all
And
that.
you do that.
And I don't want to think about how many milliseconds of delay or whether or not it's
Yeah, I
clipping or any of that.
By the way, not to interrupt, but
Yes.
say hi to Ronnie Cox.
Hey, Ronnie.
Hi, Ronnie Cox.
We were just talking about you, Ronnie.
Really, like the second band I was in when I started doing this sort of scene that we're in was with Mark Goldberg, who I co-produced a couple of his records.
Play It Like the Pocket.
And The Pocket. And through him, I met this great keyboard player named Dave Fraser, who I produced his record, which sadly is a great record, you know. And has nothing to do with me, it's just him, you know. And but he just never promoted it. It was really funny. It's like people can get really super into the recording process, and he was like super there, you know. And then we didn't really do anything. We did a CD release, and then it just sat there. More people should hear Dave Fraser's CD.
That's why God created PR companies.
Pick it up. That's right, exactly.
What other instruments besides guitar, if any, do you play?
Oh, I play nothing well.
I don't buy that for a minute.
I really don't. I mean, I play dobro. That's a guitar, but that's probably I can actually play that instrument. And I play a little bouzouki, a little tiny bit of mandolin, a little tiny bit of banjo, and that's about it. Like
bass?
if I a lot of bass. I cut a lot of bass. But I'd rather not, you know. But it's always like, you know, money.
Sure.
It's like I want to hire bass players, you know. I'd rather hear them than me. But sometimes you just don't get to.
Right.
But you know, like John's whole record was cut with Dave Sutton. He's a great bass player. Plays with Lucinda Williams and we've had the gentleman who plays on your
Chad Watson.
Chad Watson, who's another great bass player,
and he has played with Ronnie Cox. They did an album in my class.
Yeah, he's a fantastic bass player. Hank Van Sickle has been playing on a lot of my stuff, and on Lauren's whole record, he played upright, and then Mark Goldberg played. And then we also co-produced that with Deborah Docken, who's a great drummer. Yeah. She and I have done a couple of co-producing things, and
So now people know you're a producer, and I assume you're available for clients if anybody, you know.
Yes.
If you want to have somebody amazing produce your record.
Well, there's another project coming in. I don't want to. That's going to be fun. That I just got called about, and I'm not going to say anything about it because
How can people contact you?
Might fall through. And Kirgo@gmail.com.
You can put it on the comments when you go through the comments later. Just put your email and your website.
Yeah.
John will probably do it in a second because he always does that.
Yeah.
And Kirgo@gmail.com.
Yeah.
So now people know that you produce. People already knew that you were an outstanding guitar player. Only some people, I think, know that you're a songwriter.
Yes.
So how long have you been doing that?
Yes.
And
well,
I'm going to ask you to hit us with one.
I can remember, well, let's see, the first song I ever wrote was, you know that song Broken Arrow by Neil Young?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Buffalo Springfield.
Did you see them?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think I wrote a song when I was 14. It was a complete rip of that. Like the melody, exactly the melody and the same chords. I just threw in some different words. So that was the first song. And it kind of went downhill from there. No, man, you know, I want to be a song. I mean, I love writing. I love songwriting. It's just, you know, I think you have to kind of be 100% in on that, like you are, or like, you know, there's just people they're super serious about, like Tom, for instance, you know, and you and John, and you know, people that are really serious about songwriting. I went through kind of a period where I was doing that, but you know, my heroes are songwriters. You know, not as you know, Dylan and Townes Van Zandt, and you know, all those guys are people I would aspire to. You know, but then I kind of got into just, you know, producing and mixing, and that became a passion.
Well, I think I'm kind of thrilled that we're going to get you to do a couple of original songs here this morning, and
I'll give it a shot.
We actually have a very special guest, Maddie Kirgo.
That's my beautiful daughter, who's an amazing singer, and I've actually produced her before.
Wow, how old is she?
Yeah, she's 21. She
Okay.
lives in New Orleans.
Hi, Maddie.
Hey,
Thanks
Maddie.
for joining us.
She lives in New Orleans, and she has her own band. In fact, a few weeks ago, we were down there, and I played a gig with her band. They let the old man sit in with the cool young people, and it was really fun because, you know, people down there actually come out on the dance floor and dance to original music, and like, it was packed. It was fun, and she's amazing, really an amazing singer. And I'm not, you know. Both my kids are amazing musicians. My son McCoy's a great guitar player, singer, songwriter, and their mom is a musician. Yeah, so yeah, it's definitely. I don't know if it's genetic or not, man. I don't know. When you have kids, I just think they just come in and they just do what they do, and it has nothing to do with you, really. Ultimately, you know? You just try and stay out of the way and not.
Well, it's certainly true of me. My father was an artist, and his paintings are hanging all over the place here.
Really cool.
And I can't draw a hangman. You know? But I do have, you know, he was an artist, and my mom was a poet, and I'm a songwriter.
Yeah. So right, know, my family were all writers. So, yeah.
Well, speaking of songwriting,
yes. Should I whip
lay one
out?
on us? Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to do one where you play with me?
It's entirely up
Let's
to you.
do that
It's
one
your
first. This is a song called Trailer Park Girl, and it's kind of self-explanatory, but it came about from watching a documentary and seeing this one minor character and just kind of getting focused on that person and what their lives might be like.
You can thank Jimmy Hunter, who's one of our regular viewers. He just posted your website for you, Nick.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Okay, so it starts out on A and then goes to D.
Okay.
This propane tanks in the sawdust on the floor of the bar, and still her eyes are full of stars. Pouring singing Mama tried. And her heart is open wide. Poor little trailer park girl. Go ahead, John. Come around, not today. There's propane tanks in the yard. There's sawdust on the floor of the bar. And still her eyes are full of stars. Oh, little trailer park girl. Oh, little trailer park girl.
Beautiful.
Ah, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, very nice.
Thank you, John.
Let's see. That's how old is that song?
Old. That's like probably 10 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
You
And that's one of the new ones.
Do you still remember the first song? I'm not going to necessarily ask you to play it, but do you still remember the first song you ever wrote?
Well, that one that I ripped off from Neil Young, and then and then I was in the first song I ever wrote. I think that was kind of it. It was a total plagiarism, but it was fun because I actually learned the chords to that song, and yeah.
By the way, Lauren Adams wants to know if you've dropped her name yet.
Yeah, I've dropped your name
Absolutely.
several times, and I've had it with Lauren.
Yeah, you need to tune in at 10. Lauren.
Yeah, Lauren. In fact, the first half of the show was about Lauren, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
You'll have to rewatch that one.
Yes, Lauren, we love you. Lauren Adams is a real.
Lauren has a
talented.
standing invitation to be a guest on this show, which she has not yet accepted.
Well, she should do it. You should do it. It's really fun. You get coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get Blanca.
Coffee and Blanca.
Blanca is an extremely
Scintillating
charming
conversation.
dog a really charming dog that can't hear but is extremely affectionate and loving.
Yes.
And she like holds your hands with her paws while you're petting her.
Yeah.
Grabs on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah. One of yours?
I think I'm going to play a song.
Do you want me to not play?
No, this is one. Well, I did not
Okay.
play. No, this is one that you played on. You actually played on the record.
Mm-hmm. I remember this.
And there is a video on YouTube of the song that was. We actually filmed the actual recording session when we did this. So we didn't like lip sync, recreate anything. We just did it. And
That's true.
We have a friend, Ron Sarfati, who had like half a dozen little video cameras, and he put them all over the place. And the aforementioned Chad Watson also played on this, and he's in the video as well. And Dave Byer on drums.
Whose wife, Deborah Davis, is a great singer.
Yes,
songwriter.
indeed. So this is probably one of my best known and most requested songs. But no pressure.
I'm going to do the best I can. That's all I can do.
I am not the least bit worried. This is My Mother and Me, featuring the Kirgo. She taught me how to tie my shoe, how to walk and how to run, how to talk and how to listen, 1 to 1. She taught me how to write my name, how to write a song. She taught me how to play the game right from wrong. She taught me how to walk in the light and live by the golden rule. Sometimes how to stand and fight. My mama didn't raise no fool. What you see is what you get, and if you like what you see, look a little closer. That's my mother and me. She taught me to be faithful, chapter and verse, and how not to be wasteful with this planet Earth. And she told me life is sacred and love is divine. Prejudice and a hatred are diseases of the mind. She taught me how to walk in the light and live by the golden rule. Sometimes how to stand and fight. My mama didn't raise no fool. What you see is what you get, and if you like what you see, look a little closer. Yeah, that's my mother and me. You can see it in the places I've been to. You can see it in the things I believe. You can see it in the things that I'm into. Mark of my mother in me. Now in your eyes I'm a stranger, and in her eyes I'm a star. I can still remember when she bought my first guitar, and I go where my heart leads me now, the wind at my heels. I am what my mother made me, and I like the way it feels. Hey, she taught me how to walk in the light and live by the golden rule. Sometimes how to stand and fight. My mama didn't raise no fool. What you see is what you get, and if you like what you see, look a little closer. Ooh, that's my mother in me. What you see is what you get, and if you like what you see, hey, look a little closer. Ah, that's my mother in me. Yeah. Very nice.
Nice song.
Thank you. Thanks. So, you obviously play acoustic. You play a lot of electric, and you have a great sound. I mean, you're one of the things I love about your playing is that you and I have talked about this. You blend in really, really well with whoever else you're playing with, and you complement the song.
That's the goal.
As opposed to competing with it. But as far as getting, the specific sound that you get, I mean, I know you get different sounds for different songs and different applications and so on. But I have known some players, some session players, and some lead players who have literally a truckload of racks and stacks of amps and pedal boards and all this stuff, outboard processing. And I actually did a session with a guy in Nashville who told me, well, you pay me so much for a half a day in the studio, plus you pay my cartage.
Yes.
And he had a truck come and unload,
Yes.
And then he said, but you don't have to worry about my cartage when I leave because my next client will take care of that.
That's great.
Those
were the days.
Must be nice.
I had that experience when I moved back to LA in the early '80s, and I was
From-
living in New York City.
Okay.
And I moved back here where my family was here, and I started doing sessions like that. And you know, you had cartage. It was great. I mean, people would show up. I played on a lot of crappy TV shows, and so
Like which ones?
I experienced. I'm too ashamed to say it. Actually, I'm experiencing a shame spiral right now. No, but you know, I played on a lot of that kind of stuff, and and there was cartage. Those were good times.
So, but now,
not anymore.
Now it
Now-
seems you're very pared down.
I'm very pared down. Yeah, I have this little pedal board, and it's not, you know, there's probably like four effects on there really.
Mhm.
You know, tremolo, reverb, delay, compression, and some distortion. And sometimes I don't use any of them. You know, I'm just using like the volume pedal was the one I use the most. you
Right.
know. And but you know, in terms of like you were talking about like sounds and you know. And staying out of the way and being, you know, part of the band and trying to, you know, that's all stuff, you know, I learned from, you know, like Jesse Evan Davis and great guitar players, Ry Cooder, David Lindley, you know, this kind of music. I mean, I have a whole other side, which is instrumental jazz stuff. But, you know, those are the guys that influenced me the most, like George Harrison, of course, Jimi Hendrix, and you know, listening to those guys, and also all the old like R&B players like Cornell Dupree and I'm missing some names, but you know, that just like knew when to play something and when not to play anything. You know.
Well,
So-
it's. I mean, there's a place for all of it, of
Right.
course. But they, you know, I mean, there was a famous. You know, Chuck Berry was once arguing with Keith Richards and about dialing in the
just
right
that
sound.
in itself is the greatest thing ever.
And you know,
They
he told him.
arguing. Yeah.
He told him. He said, "You know the sound you get when you take an electric guitar and you plug it into an amplifier." And Keith, yeah, he said, "That's my sound."
That's for sure. And Chuck Berry, he made it work too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the two of them together. They should have had a reality TV show.
God,
Seriously,
what a thought.
just following the two
Man.
of them around. That would have been
Yeah.
awesome.
Wow. Well, you got another one for us?
Yeah. Okay. So this, let's see. Oh boy. All right. So this is a song. This is a more recent, a little bit more recent. So this is a really unsentimental song about a parent dying.
About a parent dying?
Parent dying. Yeah, I wrote this after my dad died, and it's who I loved a lot, but it wasn't all you know, rainbows and puppies with my dad. So this is just this is me trying to just be really like what was really happening at that time when he was going through that. I'll see if I can play it. I don't know. Let's see. Poor boy, running scared, tears upon your face, falling far from grace, calling out to space. You're on your way, far from here. Old man, lying there, lost upon your bed. What's running through your head? Some words you never said, some things you left unsaid. You're on your way, on your way, far from here. And I see you on Division Street beside me. I see you through the fog of some old dream. I won't be using Bibles to remind me from now, from now, from now, from now. Sky blue, windy day, sycamore and sage, turn another page. Goodbye to love and rage, goodbye to love and rage. You're on your way, on your way, far from here. And I'll see you on Division Street beside me. See you through the fog of some old dream. I won't need bells or Bibles to remind me. From now on, from now on, from now on, from now on.
Beautiful.
That's a beautiful song.
Thank you.
I'm guessing, Hillary, that there were all kinds of thumbs and hearts and stuff
yeah.
flying by on that
Oh, yeah.
on that one. That's a very pretty song.
Thank you. Thank you.
And you know, poignant but pretty.
Appreciate it.
So yeah, as well. We don't get to hear you sing too often.
Yeah, and there's a good reason
And
for that.
no, I like your singing.
Really?
I do. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
I don't know. There's so
you know.
many good. There's so many people I hear, like you, and yeah. There's a lot. There's a lot of good. There's a lot of real singers out there.
well. I think you qualify.
Well, thanks, man. Thanks, brother, man.
You know.
Appreciate it.
So I hesitate to even mention this because it's you're probably going to say it's a song you can't do solo because
Yeah.
I've only heard you do it with a band, but I heard you do a song Yes 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 one time. That,
Oh, yeah.
that is I just
Oh yeah, Ben
just
Carr,
love that
who
song.
I've been working with, who's another great local songwriter. He asked me to do that, so I could try it. I could give it a shot.
Yeah, oh please, if it's available.
Can you play some licks in B?
In B, I can try.
Oh man, okay, this is gonna be rough. All right. This I wrote with co-wrote the lyric to this with my friend Camille Henry, who lives in. We were in a band together back in the '70s. No, back in the '90s. That was signed and did the whole record thing, and then broke up immediately after the record was released. Yeah. Anyway, she's one of those wonderful LA stories. Anyway, she co-wrote the lyric with this on this one, and I'm gonna see if I can play it. I don't know, man. It's gonna be rough. I'll try it.
Well,
Let's see. Sally walks from the killing floor. She says goodbye to it. Walks away, leaves a wanting more. Her heart's no longer in it. Came this way many years ago, like a lance straight to the line. Easy mark for the undertow she plays, dead to keep from dying. She says, yes, yes, yes. She says, yes, yes, yes. Can mend this broken heart. She asks who's up for trying. She plays in her hand, stone to pull the bottles, her breath to keep from crying. Comes flapping down the avenue, takes a look around. He's in a broken moon, needles on the ground. She says, yes, yes, yes. She says, yes, yes, yes. walks away, these are wanting more. Her heart's no longer in it. Night comes flapping down the avenue, takes a look around. He's in on needles on the ground. She says, yes, yes, yes. She says, yes, yes, yes. Good Lord.
Wow.
Awesome. That sounded
Man,
great.
that was
Thank
great.
That did sound great.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
for doing that.
Thank
That was a
My-
gift to me.
my
That was-
pleasure.
you weren't expecting it, but I love that song.
Remembering words, isn't that hard for a songwriter? I don't remember.
You know, it comes fairly. I mean, you know, I'm going to put my foot in it here because there have been times where I've gone up on words,
Yeah.
but I tend to like play my songs so much. I tend to
Yes.
just do over and
That
over.
would have been a good idea before this.
But-
For me to play
Well, it would have been a good idea for me to
How
give
come
you
you
some
didn't
warning.
tell me to do that?
But you know, I did a gig one time in when I was starting out. I was playing in Massachusetts, and I was playing this bar, you know, just where everybody's just getting drunk, and you know, and somebody yelled out, "Can you do Bojangles?" This is way back in the day, you
Yes.
know, and I just reflexively, because I had played it 100 times, I go, "Oh yeah, of course, Bojangles, sure, no problem. Thank you for the request." And then I, you know. And then it came time to think of the first word, right? And
That's great. But that right there is enough, isn't it? You don't really need lyrics.
I couldn't. Anybody know the first line?
Yeah.
You know.
I met a man, Bojangles.
Yeah. Well.
That's it. I
yeah,
remember that part.
Yeah.
Yeah. And something about shoes and
Right.
yeah,
and dancing.
Yeah, dancing. Yep.
So, well, we. I know that you're also. I feel like I really should mention this. You know, people know you from playing with Lauren Adams and with various other people, and you know Severin and Ed Tree and all those guys, and you do, you know, some of your own things, but you're also quite the jazz man.
I have a jazzy background on one level.
And you have a kind of a jazz trio that you play with periodically.
Yeah. I'd like
With,
to do a lot
if I
more of
remember
that.
correctly, Deborah Dobkin.
That's right. And Hank Van Sickle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. I love that band, and we don't play enough because I have an aversion to booking gigs, so that's a problem. But I'm working on it because I love.
The distinction should be made. You have an aversion to booking gigs. You don't have an aversion to gigs.
I don't have an aversion to gigs. It's booking the gigs and then getting people to come to the gigs.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. But I have that. I love playing with those guys. But yeah, I played with them. I was on the road with Les McCann. I played with Billy Childs, who's a great piano player. In fact, I just did a thing with him and J.D. Souther, who's one of my all-time favorite songwriters, singers. You know, unbelievable. That was a dream come true. And there's a jazz side, and a couple of people I played with in Europe named Michael Moore and Michael Vatcher, and great people in a whole different area of music.
I assume not that Michael Moore.
Not that Michael Moore, a different Michael Moore. Mike Moore, we'll call him Mike
Okay,
Moore. He's a
Mike
great clarinetist, saxophonist.
Yeah.
And
Is
composer.
there-
Unbelievable composer.
This is another thing I have not prepared you for, so it's perfectly okay to say no.
Mm-hmm.
But is there such a thing for you as a solo jazz piece that you could?
Yeah. I could do. I'll do one little run through of. Let's see. Yeah, I was totally not prepared for this.
I don't want to make you uncomfortable.
No, you
so,
won't. I'm
you know.
gonna go through all the changes of this song. You'll either hear the melody or I'm not exactly sure, but I'll see what happens.
I'm going to stay the hell out of this.
This is
one
called
because
Stella
I'm
by
not a
Starlight,
jazz
and I'm just gonna do. I'll just go through one time. Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Very sweet. Thank you. It's I'm trying to give people, let people see some sides of you that they don't see all that often, and that definitely qualified. Well, man, I hope this has been fun for you.
Very.
It's been fun for me.
Very. Next time, tell me to practice.
No, you're doing great.
play
So
something?
I could give myself the same advice. I think we're gonna go ahead and close this out with this last song. There is a chart over there if you want it.
Okay.
This is another song that is on my M6 CD, and it is a song that you're actually on the recording. Again, there's not a video of this one, but you did play on this, and
Oh, by the
mighty
way,
job you did.
By the way, thanks for having me. That was really nice to invite me to do this.
Oh yeah,
You
no,
and Hillary,
I've been
thank
wanting
you.
to do this for quite a while.
Thanks.
And
let me say hi.
I wish we could play together
Say hi to
more.
my girlfriend Kathy Berkowitz-Monkarsh. Hello, if she's out there somewhere.
Hi, Kathy.
She's not on Facebook, so I'm gonna have to show it to her later.
Yeah, I'm gonna say hi to my girlfriend too. Hi, Hillary.
Oh,
Hey, John.
I'd like to say hi to John's girlfriend Hillary. Hi,
Hey,
Hillary.
Nick.
So, yeah, this is actually there's not a video for this song, but there is. Well, in a way, there's a movie for this song.
Okay.
I did
I remember that.
a
Right.
movie a while back about traveling cross country doing house concerts, and I got the whole film done, and I realized I didn't have a theme song for it, so I wrote this. So thanks to all of you for watching and joining us. I believe, I think next week is Ben Karen.
Yes.
Ben Karen is going to be my guest next week. He's an actor and singer and songwriter, and that's going to be lots of fun. And then we have other things coming up after that. So Chad Watson, whom we spoke about before, he and Pam Lowe are going to be here in 2 or
That's
3
gonna
weeks.
be good.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So, I should mention, because sometimes I like to share, little tidbits with people. I'm just going to gloss over this very quickly, but some of you may have noticed that I'm playing only the 12-string guitar this morning. My 6-string guitar is kind of out of commission for I don't know, a week or two. Hopefully, not much more than that. I went to do a gig the other night and opened up the case to take it out, and there it was in the case, broken, almost in half. So just right over here where the neck joins the body, it just kind of spontaneously cracked through. So I don't know. I didn't do it. People compare me all the time to, Pete Townsend, but I did not do that.
I compare you to Pete Townsend.
Do you?
Yeah.
But,
I'm a Pete Townsend lover.
yeah, I love Pete Townsend.
Hell yeah.
But I don't treat guitars the way he does. Well, anyway, be that as it may, hopefully the 6-string guitar will be back in a week or two. In the meantime, I'm just going to have to muddle through with these.
You
with
do
these
have a
12
replacement
strings.
guitar
I do,
provided
I
by
do.
a dear friend.
Yes, Judy. Thank you very much. She did lend me a 6-string guitar.
It's violence in music. That's the problem.
Yes.
But I actually think violence in music is a good thing because
No, that's violins in music.
no violence, violence like
Well,
Pete
better in
Townsend,
music than
Pete Townsend. Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you look at what blues and rock and roll, I mean, there's a lot of violence in there, and
Right.
And that's part of the energy. I mean, and Pete Townsend and Keith Moon, perfect examples
Right.
of channeled violence,
Right.
But then you look at some
But
subtle,
nobody gets hurt.
But then exactly, Jimi Hendrix, or you look at more subtle people like Levon Helm, violent. His whole attitude towards the drums, but in a really classy, beautiful way.
Uh-huh.
But there's a lot of rage in there,
Yeah.
in a good way.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm fucking gonna make this thing.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's part of the spectrum of human emotion. So
That's
we
true,
can't. The thing to do is not to deny it or to try to lock it away, but to embrace it in a way where it does no harm.
Yeah.
Agreed. So
agreed.
okay, so
Yes, sir.
the theme song from my movie Home Invasion with Nick Kirgo helping me out on guitar. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for liking. Thank you especially for sharing and for telling your friends about us and inviting your friends. And please keep coming back and joining us on Sunday Morning Live. We'll be back next Sunday at 10 a.m. with Ben Karen. Here is Home Invasion. Four wheels and 18 strings, that's my contribution. Everywhere from Delray to Delaware, Timbuktu to Tucson. I'd sing for everyone, absolutely anyone. Yes, even you, son. Gather round now, lay your money down now. Are you ready? Let's do one. Ain't no family reunion. Ain't no 4th of July. Ain't no special occasion. It's a home invasion. These days, 100 ways, everybody's trying to email you on a line, call you at dinner time, but you're not buying. You're not safe anywhere, even in your easy chair. They just keep trying. You might as well let them in. What the hell can't win? There's no denying. I ain't no Avon lady. Ain't no Culligan man. Ain't no sales presentation. It's a home invasion. You can have your mirrored balls, your concert halls and bars. You play tunes in living rooms. We're happy where we are. Yeah. Four wheels and 18 strings, that's my contribution. Everywhere from Delray to Delaware. Ain't no guns in these cases, just Maxwell string guitar. Ain't no special occasion, it's a home invasion. This is your invitation to a home invasion. There it is. All right, home invasion. Nick Kirgo, thank you so much for being my guest here today.
You, John. Much
It's been a lot of fun. Thanks to all of you, as I said before, for joining us. Please come back and join us next Sunday when Ben Karen will be my guest. Hillary, anything you'd like to say to anybody?
Yes, thank you, Nick, so much for coming. It's been such a pleasure.
Thank you,
and thanks everybody for showing up, and have a great week.